The anime begins with a scene where several females make fun of a shy second-year high school student, Naoto Hachioji, though he's never referred to as such, when he brings his self-drawn manga to class, but Hayase Nagatoro, a first-year student, recognizes that the hero is modeled on himself. She makes him cry by showing how braver his character is than he is. Though he makes an effort to avoid her, she disrupts his art class and forces him to draw her after teasing him by suggesting she pose naked. She also gives him a surprise reward for the completed drawing. As soon as the sketch is complete, she gives him a fake kiss while making fun of him for not drawing her thighs accurately, which makes him cry once more. On their walk home, she invites him out on a date, but when he responds that she was serious, she makes fun of him once again and accidentally pushes him into a river. After a lifetime of bullying, he admits he can't get furious anymore. Although she irritates him, he kind of likes her attention when he doesn't reach much. She demands that he call her Nagatoro and that she call him Senpai if she is satisfied with his response. Nagatoro steals an erotic vampire manga that Senpai purchased. Nagatoro notes that after reading it, she realizes how intriguing the tale actually is, while also pointing out how much the cowardly human protagonist mirrors Senpai. Nagatoro rushes on Senpai, claiming to be a vampire, but the garlic in his lunch repels her, and she unintentionally touches his crotch, embarrassing them both. She uses the chance to mock him for being aroused. The following day, Nagatoro suggests a game in which players try to precisely locate each other's nipples beneath their clothing. The winner receives a ticket that will require the loser to perform any one act without objecting. Senpai consents in the hopes of getting her to stop making fun of him. On her first try, Nagatoro successfully locates Senpai's nipples, and she makes the assumption that Senpai will be too ashamed to take his turn. Nagatoro becomes agitated, declares the game to be ended, and flees before Senpai can take his turn when he decides he would try. Nagatoro and her buddy are on a double date with two boys when Senpai comes at his favorite cafe to continue writing his manga. Senpai observes Nagatoro doesn't tease the lads at all and appears bored with them. Nagatoro, however, reverts to his normal self when they cross paths outside the restaurant and teases Senpai as they head home. Nagatoro teases Senpai by pretending to strip in front of him and shows him that she's wearing a swimsuit underneath. They take cover from the rain and go to Nagatoro's house. Nagatoro beats Senpai in a video game, but they both still have fun. The next day, Nagatoro and her friends invite Senpai to sit with them during lunch. Senpai loudly declares that he and Nagatoro are not dating, making her jealous. Nagatoro teaches Senpai a humorous shoulder slap technique, but he accidentally slaps her breasts. Nagatoro recovers quickly and taunts Senpai about it. Gamo and Yoshi, two of Nagatoro's pals, make fun of him for being a virgin and make him squeeze Gamo's breasts before revealing that she was hiding bean buns underneath. As Nagatoro shows up, they run away because she is once more envious, albeit she is less enraged after discovering Senpai just touched the buns. Instead, she coerces him into another game in which he must determine the difference between a regular and a limited edition bean bun hidden beneath her blouse. However, when one of them slips out, Senpai accidentally squeezes her real breast, startling both of them and earning him a penalty. Later, as Senpai is standing for his drawing, Nagatoro realizes he is preoccupiedly observing classmate Hosakawa, the baseball club winner, and surmises that Senpai is envious of Hosakawa's fame. Nagatoro asks that he compliment her because he can't expect to receive recognition for his abilities if he never does the same for others. She is shocked when he does, so she compliments his embarrassed responses to her mocking. She taunts Senpai while he tries to draw her, but eventually Nagatoro falls asleep and Senpai succeeds. Nagatoro teases him for getting his hopes up in exchange for him finishing the picture while pretending to kiss him with his eyes closed. She does, however, concede that she genuinely enjoys the drawing. Nagatoro has a dream that Senpai ignores her and spends time with Gamo and Yoshi. When she wakes up, she is humiliated to see that Senpai has covered her with a blanket. She tickles him before daring him to tickle her back, but she quickly backs down out of humiliation. He eventually agrees to her offer to cut his long hair, but then Gamo and Yoshi capture Senpai and threaten to shave his entire head. Senpai manages to hold out until an enraged Nagatoro returns, sending Gamo and Yoshi running. She gives him a professional haircut after being touched that he was willing to fight them in order for her to trim his hair. Nagatoro insists they acquire shaved ice during a heat wave. Unbeknownst to Nagatoro, Senpai shields her from obscene gazes from onlookers who can see her bra through her shirt due to sweat. Senpai leads her away from the line of customers to sit in the shade after noticing that she is struggling with the heat. Instead, she offers to buy them each some ice cream from the convenience store once she has recovered. Senpai thinks he won't see Nagatoro throughout the summer break until she asks for his phone number, surprising him that she would even bother to keeping in touch. Instead, she starts bombarding him with messages in which she refers to him as a pervert. Senpai and his team, consisting of Huntress Gamo, Feline Warrior Nagatoro, and Dragon Girl Yoshi, discovered that the girls are actually the demon lords they were sent to defeat. It turns out to be a nightmare that Senpai was writing, and Nagatoro teases him about his delusions. Nagatoro insists on going to the beach with Senpai, but he declines her offer to apply sunscreen. Despite being stepped on by Gamo and Yoshi, Senpai enjoys his time at the beach and draws a picture of Nagatoro grinning. Senpai attends the summer festival alone and meets Gamo and Yoshi. Nagatoro becomes enraged when she sees a picture of them together and rushes to the festival. Gamo challenges Nagatoro to win Senpai back, but Nagatoro mocks him for wanting her to invite Senpai to the festival. Gamo and Yoshi leave when Nagatoro wins Senpai back. They watch fireworks in a more private location, but they are too timid to kiss. They realize they are in a makeout spot surrounded by couples and run away. Senpai offers to go to the festival together next year, and Nagatoro agrees. When they return to school, Senpai sees a guy hanging around Nagatoro and becomes jealous, but he gains the confidence to ask her to leave with him. She agrees and the girls follow. Senpai introduces one of the girls who teased Nagatoro for sketching manga in the library as his friend Sakura. Nagatoro motivates Senpai to exercise by carrying her on his back, but he collapses due to her stimulating butt. His obsession with a game causes him to neglect his studies, but Nagatoro warns him that he'll be in her class if he repeats a year. Senpai studies hard and does well on his exams, earning Nagatoro's teasing. She confronts him when she thinks he's up to something, but it turns out he just has a splinter. They play a game of rock, paper, scissors, which leads to an embarrassing incident. Nagatoro accidentally reveals herself undressed to Senpai while teasing him on the phone. Senpai steps too close and they almost hug, embarrassing them both. Nagatoro becomes fixated on boxing and demands Senpai challenge her to a match. The girls are upset that gaming geeks have taken over their lunchroom, so they send Sakura to make the nerds' friendship fall apart by flirting with them and making them envious of one another. Although Nagatoro says Senpai is wicked and bets he has porn in the club room, the girls don't think Senpai is interested in them. Gamo makes fun of Nagatoro when he is unable to locate any. Senpai gives Nagatoro the advantage and brutally teases him out of his sympathy for her by giving a hint as to where he keeps a dirty magazine. Nagatoro convinces Senpai to let her to pierce his ear in order to receive a new piercing. Nagatoro teases Senpai about wanting to match her, but he simply seems to agree. Nagatoro becomes enraged when Senpai agrees to pose as Sakura's boyfriend after she tells that one of the nerds is stalking her. While watching the fake date, Nagatoro gets annoyed by how intimate the couple is pretending to be and takes it upon herself to catch the stalker. Once the fake date is over, Gamo is disappointed that he couldn't capture any embarrassing photos of the couple. Nagatoro teases Gamo about his uncomfortable behavior during the fake date, which he also admits to being true. Nagatoro offers Senpai hot snaps, which he initially interprets as nudes, but she later clarifies that she was referring to snapping hot chicken and calls him a pervert. Senpai is a slow runner, therefore Nagatoro demands that he jog with her. Nagatoro's appearance in a skimpy jogging gear diverts Senpai's attention. When he faints halfway through, Nagatoro torments him until he finishes, at which point she torments him once more during their cooldown stretches. Nagatoro insists on modeling for Senpai's artwork, but he lies and asks her to dress up as a cat girl. Nagatoro shows up in costume, surprising Senpai. The art club president arrives and threatens to close the club after seeing Senpai's illustrations of Nagatoro as a cat. Nagatoro defends Senpai's commitment to the arts, and the president challenges him to a competition at the cultural festival. If Senpai's exhibit is better, the president must leave the club. Senpai is asked to create an exhibit, but is hesitant due to the previous exhibit's racy content. Nagatoro offers to model for him, but he declines, feeling he lacks the skills to impress the club's president. The girls make a comment about Nagatoro's breast size, but Senpai stands up for her. Nagatoro poses for Senpai, but admits that his drawings are not as good as the previous exhibit. The president divides the club room in two for a private nude photo shoot and tells Senpai his paintings lack passion. Nagatoro sees the president nude and declines Senpai's offer to model for him. Senpai tells Nagatoro that he enjoys sketching her the most and doesn't want to draw anyone else, which makes her happy but also embarrassed. They fall into a pool, and Nagatoro jokingly accuses him of staring at her bra. Senpai admits that he thinks Nagatoro is cutest in everyday situations, which embarrasses them both. The art club president meets with another student who accuses Senpai of something. Senpai creates artwork of Nagatoro's daily activities, and he and Nagatoro dress up like cats at the festival to promote his work. During the festival, Senpai becomes jealous of Nagatoro's popularity with their guests, but Nagatoro becomes envious when girls start admiring Senpai. Gamo gives them a lunch break to ease their jealousy before it gets out of hand. When they get back, they discover the student council has denied the president permission to display her painting, alleging it is immoral. Senpai steps in and says the president should be allowed to express herself artistically because it is no different from his desire to paint Nagatoro. With Yoshi's camera footage demonstrating that the majority of students were ardent supporters, Nagatoro and the girls also stand in support of the president. Senpai wins the contest and the art club is permitted to continue operating since the council decides to keep the painting but disqualifies the president from competing. The girls force the president into a seductive bunny girl costume and insist with joy that she receive a loser's punishment. Senpai and Nagatoro are embarrassed when the president praises Senpai's paintings and claims they are filled with his affection. Senpai extends an invitation to Nagatoro to the concert-style concluding celebration. The following day, Senpai draws another drawing of Nagatoro and gives him another prize. However, this time, she actually kisses him, albeit only on the cheek. And the season ends here. These two goofballs are hilarious and cute at the same time. Do let us know what you guys think will happen next, as we'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode, drop us a like and subscribe to Anime Soreio for more awesome anime content like this on your feed. Peace.